All right. We are back after a 2-week hiatus. The story thus far has returned to play some D&D, the thing that we love to do. So we are just going to quickly go through announcements, which there isn't really much of. There's the email address.
It's a story thus far at yahoo.com. And I don't remember precisely what the Instagram is, so I was hoping you weren't going to ask me to say that.
I think it's at story thus far.
Isn't it like there's an underscore
it's
in it?
at the underscore story thus far.
Thank you. Because I was like,
I didn't know it either.
I've heard her say it like 1,000 times,
I know.
I'm like, okay, I remember.
Okay, alright, so I think we're just going to jump right into it. What do you think? Yep.
I'm in.
Alright, the story thus far, episode 25, guys. 25. Barag, Daedalus, Kohl, and Terra. You guys find yourselves in a precarious situation. The quartet of adventurers known as Valor's Ransom had set off from Baldur's Gate, a city crippled by the mysterious and enigmatic pirate crew known only as the Sea Wolves. With only a small vessel at your disposal, the only vessel left in the city, the four of you left with a few goals in mind. First, to meet with Terra's former first mate, Captain Gefelda the Gallows Gwenmill, to hopefully reclaim, under the ancient pirate code of Parley, Terra's ship formerly known as the Reckless Abandon, now rechristened Terra's Tears. Barring that, you also set out to find any actionable intelligence on the Sea Wolves. This alone would have granted you unlimited access to the merchant quarter. You met Terra's Tears under a stormy sky and over Triton's Trench, the deepest part of the Shining Sea. All did not go well as the Gallows, never breaking the code of Parley, revealed that she had Terra's older brother, Davric, hostage and had him thrown off the plank with weights attached. In a moment of desperation, Terra attacked the Gallows, wounding but not killing her. With Valor's Ransom now all overboard and Davric lost forever, it would seem, both Terra and Barag took off after Terra's Tears, a ship powered by nature-based monstrosities known as elementals. Between Kohl and Barag, you managed to damage 2 of the 4 elemental cells, thereby crippling the ship and slowing it down. Daedalus and Kohl, you fought for your lives against an air elemental and several pirates, and you were victorious. Terra was able to sneak back onto the ship in the hopes of obtaining her long sought-after revenge, even at the cost of her own life. However, a great distance had now separated Terra from the rest of Valor's Ransom, so much so that she could no longer even see you guys in the open ocean. You knew that without the expertise of one whose home are the seas of the material plane, she decided that the lives of Daedalus, Kohl, and Barag were far more important and deployed a lifeboat. It took some time, but finally the 4 of you were reunited, only to see a giant wave called a squall bearing down on the 4 of you. So, as the squall bared down upon the tiny vessel, it stood for a little while. However, it could not last very long against the power of nature until it eventually is capsized. The 4 of you in the open ocean, one by one, just lose consciousness. As you come to, you find yourself on solid ground. You're no longer in the open ocean. Barag, you're the first one, since you're the hardiest of the group. You're the first one to come to consciousness. Next to you is a gunpowder barrel. Cracked, leaking, but probably served as your flotation device. It's half submerged in the wet sand. The waves from the ocean are just lapping at your feet. Your muscles are stiff and sore, and the salt from the briny ocean stings your eyes, and you just feel like you've ingested gallons upon gallons of ocean water. Your vision begins to go from blurry and slowly refocusing. You put yourself on your back, just looking at the sky, and can't help but just vomit. All of this ocean water just comes out as your body rejects it. You look out to your left and you look out to your right, and it's just a long stretch of beautiful beach of ocean. But when you look out to your left, you do see people on the beach, scattered shipwreck. Some of the shipwreck is far too big to be just your vessel. What do?
So besides the other people in the shipwrecks, do I see anybody else I know, like Kohl or
Make a
Daedalus?
perception check.
Ouch. 6, I think.
6 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just coming to consciousness, so it's just hard to focus on anything right now.
Yeah.
As you're kind of spewing out ocean water, the only thing that you know for sure is that you do see some foreign objects on the beach to your left.
So I'm gonna get up and, well, if I'm oriented enough, make my way over to where I see the foreign objects.
It's difficult. You just being able to get on your feet and stand up, it's a task. You still kind of have sea legs. You're not used to walking on solid land, not right now. So you almost have, like when a boxer gets hit with a really mean punch, you see that their kind of legs kind of wobble for a second. So that's exactly what happens to you as you slowly kind of are able to muscle yourself back onto your feet with just sheer will and that dwarven will. You are able to kind of stand, although a little wobbly, but you do see that one of them is for sure a tiefling, and the other one has his back facing you. He's got a backpack with a really, really gnarled up broom attached to it that you can only assume is probably Daedalus. You do see one other body, and you do see, again, kind of wreckage strewn along the beach.
So I'm going to look at the one with the backpack and the worn broom, and I'm gonna yell out, "Daedalus, is that you?"
Daedalus, make a perception roll. 5. Okay. You're still you're coming to but your senses are not focused at all. You're still seeing black. You're kind of coming in and out of consciousness. You hear muffled sounds in your direction, but you really don't know who or what these sounds are. So, Kohl, you make a perception roll, please.
That's gonna be 21.
21. You hear somebody calling out for Daedalus as you finally, your eyes quickly open. Just like Barag, you feel like you've maybe drank a gallon or two of just seawater. You can feel it in your stomach. It's in your mouth, in your eyes. You can taste the grit of the sand in your mouth. But you definitely hear Barag, and you hear him coming a little bit down the beach.
So I climb first to my knees and then to my feet, and when I look around, is my vision clear? I can kind of... Your eyesight is starting to sharpen a little bit quicker than Daedalus's is, and you do see that dark blur that's kind of walking like he's maybe a little bit drunk, like walking to the left and then walking to the right, but walking in your direction nonetheless. It turns from a dark blur to a light blur, and then it really sharpens, and you're able to see Barag coming toward you, looking worse for wear. You do see debris along the beach as Daedalus is now starting to come to, but a little bit slower than the rest of you. So I start patting around my waist. Do I still have my guns in my coin purse? Because I don't want it to be a surprise if I don't.
All right. You do have them.
Okay. So I kind of go back down to kind of like on my knees, just kind of a resting position.
I rolled for you too, Barag.
I was already waiting.
I see you looking at me.
And I look over to Barag as he's approaching. This is why I work alone. And then I just kind of sit back down on my behind.
But where's the fun in that, Kohl?
This is your idea of fun. I think maybe we are very different people.
Oh yeah, this is fun. You should see the really awesome stuff that we did last time.
And I look around and I see Daedalus already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I see Terra anywhere?
Perception roll.
Not as good. 13.
13. Good enough. You don't see her. I will say that you do see sets of footprints, not Terra size, larger size, and they look older. They've been there a while, but kind of in a very confusing pattern. And then going back into what looks like a very dark primordial jungle, and Daedalus, as you start to come to, and your vision begins to sharpen. Again, you just have that ocean, that fluid in your stomach, and you're starting to kind of choke it out. So are you, Kohl. You're just kind of choking out all this ocean water. All three of you see. You think what you see is a bird that's relatively close. However, it's not really any sort of bird that you've ever seen before. It's large. The wingspan is probably about 40 foot from tip to tip. It's a big flying creature. It has a very long beard or beak that ends in a point, with a kind of like this very sharp crest in the back. The wings are not necessarily separate appendages, but almost like leathery wings that go from the index finger all the way down the side of the body, down to the bottom of the feet of whatever this flying creature is. And they don't look like birds. They look more reptilian in nature. Some of them even have long tails. Some of them vary in sizes from bigger to smaller. And most of you have been, maybe with the exception of Kohl, because you are an urban bounty hunter. You don't necessarily like the great outdoors. But for Barag and Daedalus, the sounds that you are hearing coming out of this forest are not sounds that you've ever heard coming out of any forest that you've ever been in. These creatures emanating these sounds are not like lions and tigers and wolves, coyotes, things like that. The sounds coming out of this particular forest seem to be being made from very large creatures of substantial size. I need everybody to make one more perception roll, please.
15.
19? Okay.
16.
16. So the three of you, as you're kind of looking at the jungle, this thick jungle in front of you, behind you, you start to hear the water kind of roiling and bubble, more than just the waves of an ocean. And as you turn around, you just see kind of like this foam from this, almost like it looks like a feeding frenzy at the surface of the water. You just see water kind of violently popping up from the surface of the water, and you see kind of like an octopus head just looking at you, and then it kind of goes back into the water, and you hear like almost like bone breaking, stone cracking, but coming from underneath the water. And as the three of you are just kind of looking out at whatever this thing is, whatever is happening, you see kind of rock start to float at the surface, but not rock. It's more like coral reef. You see bright colors of this coral spires start to kind of like break the surface of the ocean. And as you're kind of looking at it, shaking your head, and more of it seems to come out of the ocean. And even more, you see kind of starfish and little bits of sea life kind of attached to this coral. And as this coral pillar gets larger and larger, you see part of it kind of break apart from the main edifice of this coral formation. And then you see another part break out from the opposite side, just it looks like two arms, made of coral, of living reef. You see it get larger and larger and larger. Roll initiative.
I knew it was coming. It was gonna happen.
I just wanted to say hi.
And sure, hi with a fist, maybe.
You are on its turf.
This would be 16.
16. Oh, my rolls suck. Alright, so
19.
8.
Ooh.
believe it or not, you are not last.
No.
Alright.
Does that journey from the giant wave to where we are now count as a long rest? That was probably took a while.
Does that count as a long
we were probably drifting
rest?
for a while, a
It
long
sounds
time,
like-
one might say.
I don't know. It sounds like wishful thinking, right?
Man.
I wish it were true. So I guess you're right.
I don't know.
think
I don't know
it's
that
true.
I can count forced unconscious state as a long rest.
Sleep is.
Sleep is
You
sleep.
know what?
for-
I'll say this because it was your birthday yesterday.
Oh, it's actually Monday. but
Monday. Okay,
yeah.
since it's Monday, I'll say yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool.
Happy birthday.
I'll take it.
He's like, I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, so yes, you had a long rest. As you see,
Yay.
Man, I feel so refreshed washing up on this beach.
And then
Hold
hold on.
vomiting.
Hold on. I'm just puking out water. So, for the purposes of this encounter, this constitutes the beach, and from here on is the jungle.
Okay.
So, okay.
Alright.
And you see this
Fancy.
coral golem slowly emerge from the ocean.
Do you have a pencil?
I do have a pencil. man.
Minis?
I should
Oh, yeah, they're
buy.
right there.
I should buy my own.
You should.
Oh, I love how I still am on the fly.
You're still on the floor.
I love that. Grab that other piece.
Yeah.
I was about to grab. I was like, oh yeah, wait, never mind.
All right. So go ahead and place yourselves on the board.
Oh.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome and very intricate. Okay, let me.
It is a really nice piece. I enjoyed painting that.
You.
That looks good.
Wow, you made that or painted?
I painted it.
Oh,
I didn't make it. I painted it though.
I wouldn't
That's
have
dope.
the patience.
Yeah. It's actually a lot easier than you would think because it's just literally cool colors. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you just dip it in a nice wash and dry brush and you're good.
it's freaking fantastic.
So yeah, you see this giant monstrosity of a coral golem just rising out of the water after you guys. You see bits of leather, torn leather, clothing, kind of hanging from its form. You can surmise that you're not the first shipwrecked victims that it's found on this beach.
Mm. By the way, that roll. Do I have my swords? And
I actually rolled.
yeah.
You do.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm not defenseless.
Yeah. All right. So, Barag, you're up. You're first in initiative.
Okay. So just for comparison, how big is he? How
He's
like,
considered a
tall?
large creature.
Large creature.
It's big.
Okay.
You are a dwarf.
Yeah, naturally.
Look at scales actually pretty well with
Yeah.
the other minis.
Yeah, I love it. I'm actually gonna take movement right next to it, and I'm going to attempt to run up the side of
Woo.
the coral monster in front of
I
me.
will say that since you're not a monk, you probably wouldn't be able to run up it, but you can climb it. You
Climb
can attempt
it.
to climb it.
I will attempt to climb it then.
You will move at half speed.
Cool. So.
So go ahead. So 15 feet.
Yeah. So.
So go ahead and make an athletics check, please.
Oh, yeah, that works for me. I like athletics. Not with a 7 though. I don't think.
All right, so you grab onto some of the coral pieces that make its form. What's the total?
16.
16. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, great. So yeah, you do find handholds, and you get about to its shoulder. You see a large piece of bright green coral. You have gloves on your hands.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, okay.
I do have gloves.
All right, so yeah, you are able to get up there with no issue. Up to about where the shoulder would be, you see a large chunk of bright green coral. Water still kind of cascading from the form of this coral golem. So yeah, go ahead and make if you'd like, you can go ahead and make your attack roll.
So I'm actually going to attack the coral that's right in front of me
Okay.
with my swords.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. Alright. It's this guy again. You've been good to me. So I'm going to attack first with the 9 life stealer, which is in my left hand. 15?
15? 15 unfortunately does not hit.
I
You
forgot
actually
that.
take a little chunk out of it, but it doesn't seem to affect it.
I forgot to add the +2 from the 9. It's 17 then.
17 does hit.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I totally forgot.
no worries,
I'm
no
a
worries.
little rusty.
Yeah,
Bear
no
with
worries.
me.
Alright, so yes, 17 does hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, awesome. Which is 1d8. Sweet. I rolled 8 plus 15, 16 damage
Nice.
for that
Alright, so,
first attack.
So your sword digs deep into that green coral clump that's kind of jutting out of its shoulder. You manage to take a little bit of that coral, that living rock, right out of its shoulder. Doesn't do as much damage as you thought it should have. You thought with that blow, it should have cleaved that completely, cleanly off its shoulder, but doesn't do as much damage. So go ahead and make your second attack roll.
Good to know. Will do. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
That does hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Awesome. 12.
Okay, so again, you're getting these blades in really deep, and it's frustrating because you know these are killing blows to anything else. But you're up there hacking away at it. Well done. Next up is going to be Kohl. Daedalus, you're on deck.
Okay, is this thing in the water still?
Right now, Barag is fighting in about 2 foot of water.
Okay. I will take, say, a few steps back, say 1, 2, 3, 15 feet, and I will take 2 shots at it.
Okay.
Do I add my dex bonus to the damage of both shots?
Not the second one, remember?
Not the second one.
Yeah, because it's almost like we're using the rule for dual wielding
Like, right, okay.
for your pistols.
I knew there was something like
Yeah.
that. Okay, so first one, that's going to be 18.
18, all right. 18 does hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll damage. Don't forget to
Second
keep
shot.
track of your rounds as well.
Right, so that's a 27. So they should both hit. So. Oof, okay, so it's going to be 2 plus 6 plus, so 10 damage total.
Total?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and much like with Barag, you bring up both your pistols, despite the beating that you took out on the ocean and how sore your body is, the second that you see Barag running up and attacking this creature that has emerged from the ocean, your reflexes are lightning quick, and it's without any conscious thought. You go to the holsters and almost shoot from the hip, both, and they're kill shots. They're right in the middle of the chest, but only a little bit of rock kind of pops off the form. Is that going to be the end of your turn, or do you want to take any more moves?
That's going to be it.
Okay. So I need all of you to make a perception roll.
11.
12.
7.
Okay. So Barag, anybody get lower than a 10? I'm sorry. No? Okay,
Nope.
so Barag, as you're up there on top of this thing, chopping away, Kohl is hitting this thing from a distance, coming pretty close to you. For a second, you're like, whoa, shit, that came really close. You see off to the left another bubbling coming up from the water, from the ocean. This one just as violent as the one prior. As you see a second creature emerging this way and slowly making its way towards the melee. Alright, so Daedalus, your turn.
I'm not in melee range, am I?
You are not in melee range, sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna move probably even further back than him.
Okay. Now you're right at the line of the jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna stay right about there.
Okay.
And since I'm sure this stuff does qualify as stone,
Perhaps.
I'm gonna cast Shatter on it.
Nice.
Yay.
So it does. It says,
Double damage.
Yep. So it, and see here, it has to. There it is. See, each creature. See, I'm gonna put it about. I'm gonna say it about behind it.
Okay.
I think it'll only. Yeah, if I hit it behind it, it should only cast it on it, and that's
Right. Now Barag is on top of this thing.
Ugh.
So Barag will be caught in the shatter spell.
I guess that. Well, I don't want to hit him, so.
I shouldn't have said anything. I should have just let it happen.
Why didn't you?
I know.
Imagine a flying mirage
That would have been so amazing.
right into the ocean. Right where I came from.
The friendly fire, man.
Yeah. Hey, why not?
Yeah.
It gets the job done.
Oh, that.
I could take it. I'm a dwarf.
No, you won't be able to take it.
Shit.
See if I shoot. See, am I in range of it? 5, 10. Is it in that range?
But yes, it's within 30 feet, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. So if I shoot blight at him, it's only gonna hit him, right? I don't have to worry about.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Do it. Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think he has to worry about it. Even though he's on it, do it.
Just do it. Go.
So I'm gonna try shooting blight at it.
Okay.
So it has to make a spell save DC against 16. So it has to make a
Gotcha.
saving throw versus my 16.
Right. I will let you know that this creature has advantages. It has magic resistance, so it's got advantage on saving throws.
Yeah. Gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna need actually 3 more because it says that they goes that we can't. Oh, 5th level spell. No, I don't think I'm. Am I casting at 5th level?
What do all your spells cast at? They cast at a default level, remember?
Yeah.
So what does Warlock cast at your level? You guys are level what? 9, right?
Yeah.
So you are casting 5th level spell slots, yes.
Oh.
So it says 5th. We can't say a spell slot at 5th level or higher. The damage increases by 1d8, so I'm gonna need 3 more d8s. Just make sure I get the entire thing so I can have it.
Jesus.
Oh, wait, that's this one.
Holy crap.
Too bad he isn't doing everything.
Yeah, well.
16. So that would have been 45, and then we halved it.
Okay. So as the necrotic energy from your blight spell washes over the creature, nothing happens.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, with blight, I don't know if you read this. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs. The golem is considered a construct. So is that going to end your turn?
Yeah, that'll end my turn.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's actually going to be their turn. So
You have to climb on.
move into 30 feet.
Because that's what Barag does.
Okay, it's going to go this direction.
You could have smacked its feet.
What if I don't want his feet?
20, 25, 30, right in front of Kohl. Dead center.
Tickle.
Yeah. The other one in the water is actually going to stay right where it is. And the stone golem is going to make a melee attack. A 1.
Ouch.
So, Kohl, that was the first one on you. And number 2, 15. What's your armor class?
16.
16. So both strikes as your tiefling reflexes. You're fast. You're fast with the iron, and you're fast on your feet. You're able to just kind of like sidestep both melee attacks. Well done. Now one on Barag. You notice one of its hands is actually kind of like an octopus. The other one is like a starfish. And you see the octopus kind of roll its tentacles up into a ball. 18?
Yeah.
18.
It makes
Alright.
exactly, my armor class is exactly
Alright, that's
18.
the first one. Natural 17. Alright, so both hit you. Actually, I will say...
The second one shouldn't hit because my armor class is 18.
No, natural 17. Plus 10 is 20.
Well, you said that. Oh, my
I
bad.
get to add stuff to my rolls too. Not just you guys.
Yay.
Alright, so let's do some damage.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ready for the minus.
2. 1. Oof.
I'm guessing 10s.
So 24 bludgeoning damage for the first strike. And 8. 14 for the second strike.
Roger that.
So as it quickly strikes you with two melee attacks that kind of belie its large form. You wouldn't think something that big can be that quick, but yeah, it manages to kind of pummel you off of its form as you're now in 3 feet of water looking up at this thing. And that's actually going to end their turn. So we're back to Barag. Kohl, you're on deck.
So I'm like to the right of it in the water.
So I will actually say that you are kind of behind it,
Oh, okay.
almost off map.
You say 24 and 14 on those last attacks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You heard right. It's dropped me to 66 from 104.
Oh, poor you.
Yeah.
I'm just, I mean, percentage-wise, that was not good. That's like...
So what I'm going to do is actually swim up to right behind it.
Well, you're still within melee range.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're just
Okay.
it just dumped you into the water right behind it
So
as you got hit with those two strikes.
nice. So I'm going to actually climb up his back.
Okay. Make an athletics check. I will say DC is 15.
15. Roll high, roll high, roll high. 16. Yes.
16. All right. So
Sweet.
I will say this is part of your movement rather than an attack. Because you're not doing any damage to it, but you managed to find handholds in the very jagged coral. Just the 2 strikes that you got hit. I don't know if you guys have ever, eaten shit at the beach,
Yeah.
but when you get hit with coral, it's not like anything else because it's so jagged and sharp. and it doesn't really leave clean. I mean, it tears and rips your skin. So you've got a couple of really deep, ugly gashes in your flesh, and you can see the waters, starting to turn a crimson now. So go ahead. You have climbed successfully on the back of this coral golem, this creature made of living coral and sea creatures.
And I'm about halfway up, right? I'm like mid-back, or
wherever I would say with that roll, yeah, you can be wherever it is that whatever goal that you had to reach, you've reached it.
Okay, I wanted to get right at the base of the where the back meets. Exactly.
Okay,
I want to be at the base of the head, and to my knowledge, do I see anything that has like open or anything I can strike at that is like open cracks near the head?
Coral is jagged and it's all open.
Yeah.
There are spaces and crevices and nooks and crannies everywhere on this thing.
So I'm gonna try to hit right where the back meets the head. I'm gonna stab right in between it.
For that particular coral golem, you do see one larger piece of round coral where a human head would normally be.
Yeah, I want to strike right
at
there.
the base. Then?
Yeah,
okay.
Right at the base.
Go ahead and make your attack. I will say now you're hanging on the back of this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say that because you have to use one hand, I will say you can make one attack.
Yeah.
At disadvantage.
Okay.
Because you're trying to hang on with the other hand. What'd you roll?
Critical fail.
Make a strength check. Dice jail.
Yeah,
All
dice
right.
jail. Bye. 17.
All right, 10 was what you needed. So as you completely miscalculated the strike, you come down with your sword right at the base of the neck, but it just kind of glides off of the coral armor of this thing, and your arm goes completely past its head, and you almost lose your sword on the follow through, but you're able to just barely keep a hold on it with just 2 fingers as you recoil your sword back. It's going to end your turn, Mr. Barag, unless you want to do something else. You want to take more movement? Or?
Do I still have some movement left? What you say, about 15?
Yeah, I would say 15.
15. I'm going to actually use that movement to jump off of him and down onto the... How far is the beach from me?
The beach is about... You're in about 3 feet of water, so about another 10 more feet, you'd be on solid ground.
Okay, I want to jump to the beach off the top of the head.
Okay. Make whatever's higher, acrobatics or athletics.
I have advantage in both. I specialize in acrobatics, so it doesn't really matter. So you said acrobatics
or athletics?
Athletics. Oh, athletics, all the way. $16?
16?
Yeah.
Okay. Successfully you jump down. You're about, because you are a dwarf, it's only 3 foot of water, but it's about chest high. Like is common in deep water, as you're kind of walking it, you're in heavy armor.
Yeah.
So you're trying to walk, and just the resistance of all the water, you have to use your whole body to take steps, but you manage to kind of scrabble back onto the beach.
Awesome.
Kohl, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to disengage. And
Look at him eating up in action.
Oh,
Nice.
And 1, 2, 3. Well, might as well just take full movement there. So it's 6.
Okay.
And I'm going to action surge and make an attack with each pistol.
Okay.
And then extra attack again with another pistol, with the first one, the +1
Gotcha.
pistol. So just do this one at a time real quick. That's 18 for the first one. This is the...
Not burning any grit or anything?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
It's 18 again.
Okay. Both hit?
That one will not hit. That's a... Or, well, that one is actually... The last ones, I just did that totally wrong. The last ones were more like 20-something. This one is going to be 14.
That unfortunately misses.
Okay. So that'll be 2 successful. 1 with the +1, 1 with the...
Alright, roll damage.
This is going to be the +1. That's going to be 6.
Okay.
Plus 7, so 13 total.
13 total?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, your bullets find their mark. 2 out of the 3. You see flakes of coral bounce off of its form as the bullet meets these coral constructs, this living rock. Is that going to end your turn?
I'm trying to remember if it is a bonus action to reload.
That is a good question. Do you have your sheet?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. Okay, not yet. It's
at a higher level, isn't it?
15 plus.
15. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. So, will that end your turn?
Yes, it will.
Okay. Young Daedalus Hartwell.
Well, first I'm going not in his melee range.
Not yet.
So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Away from it.
Sure.
And you said it gets advantage on spell saves, right?
Yes. It judging from the first attack that you saw, and you can tell that it has some sort of natural resistance to magical based attacks.
Definitely. Now I'm really thinking, should I use my last spell slot for Shatter if it has a higher chance of being able to.
Can't ask me that.
Do that in your head.
Well, I guess I'm gonna try it.
All right.
So I cast Shatter just right behind it.
Go for it.
And has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. What's the DC?
It is 16.
Okay. Let's do this thing. 19. Actually 20 modified.
So it's going to take half as much damage out of 3d8.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and roll that damage.
No, it's not those. Those ones. Yes.
7, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
18.
So
Now,
9.
No, actually, because it is a construct made of rock, coral.
Mm-hmm.
It would do double the damage. However, it kind of cancels out the save, so it actually takes the full 18. So well done.
That's good enough for me.
No kidding. All right, second in your turn.
Yes.
All right. Oh, it's on the second construct. Now we actually have their turn. So I think the first one is going to continue its assault on Barag. The second one is going to chase 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Kohl and Daedalus. Yeah, so let's do some melee attacks. First one is going to be... Okay, so I need Kohl and Daedalus. I need you guys to make a DC 17 Wisdom save. Okay.
On the dot.
That is 24.
24. Okay, the both of you kind of feel this kind of magic kind of emanating from the form of this creature as it you see tendrils of this living magic kind of wrap itself around you, but the both of you are able to kind of fight off the effects of whatever the spell was. Well done. That's actually going to be its attack. And I'm going to say for Barag, same thing. Wisdom save DC is 17.
Okay. New one. We're going with a new one. Exactly 17.
17. All right.
Yep.
Same thing. You see tendrils of magic energy kind of cover, almost like octopus tentacles, kind of emanate from this coral golem and try to wrap themselves around you. But you are able to kind of shake off the effect of whatever this. But you've been around magic enough now to know that it is magic of some sort.
Yeah.
So that is actually going to be their turn. It's your turn now, guys. It's going to be Barag.
Sweet.
You guys are so lucky.
Yeah.
I tell you.
I'm not liking these things.
Me
They're not
neither.
nice.
I don't like him. I don't like. I'm going to take 2 attacks at his left leg.
Okay.
And then 1 attack. My extra attack will be on the other leg.
Okay.
So I will do that. I'm gonna go with this one. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
That's a hit.
Yeah. Okay. Rolling for the other 2 attacks now. So 2 will be with the 9 life stealer, and 2 will be with, or 1 will be with. Nat 20, baby!
Okay. Awesome.
And then the other one's gonna be with my offhand sword. What's that? 6? Can't tell. Oh, no, that's a 6. 15, 16, 17. Exactly 17 for.
That's a hit.
Okay, sweet. So I have 1 regular.
I love through the corner of my eye, I see Kyle when something good happens in the game, he always rubs his hand like, I love that.
12 for the first attack.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll for the crit now.
Okay, let's double the dice.
Sweet. 2d8. Come on, baby. 6, 13 for the crit. And then this is my offhand. I'm rolling for now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total for that one.
All right. And I will say this, that crit, as you bring your, I mean, you're right now a tornado of metal. And your swords your arms are moving at impossibly fast speeds as you take 3 swings at this thing. That second swing, though, you're able to get a little bit more of your body into it, a little bit more force into that swing, and the blade meets that coral right at a very vulnerable point in the leg where it meets the hip, and it goes right through, it cracks. And you see shards of coral explode as this large 150, 200-pound leg just plops dead in the water, and the construct itself falls. Now in front of you, it's kind of dragging itself. Well done.
Sweet.
Next up, is that going to end your turn?
You know what? Just because I need to, I'm gonna second wind. 1d10 plus my fighter level.
Sound good. So
Yeah.
you tap into that reserve of a dwarven fortitude to ignore the pains and the cuts that you receive.
Yeah.
Well done.
Nice.
Next up,
Yeah.
Kohl.
Be better than not attacking at all, though. Can I move through right here? His hand's kind of like.
You can't move through any space occupied by an enemy,
So he is
unless you
up.
have like halfling nimbleness.
Right.
So no, you wouldn't be able to get past him.
I need backup.
So if I mean, you can run around him
Yeah.
if you take the disengage action.
Yeah, I'm actually going to disengage, and let's see, I'm right here, so 5, 10, and I'm going to turn, and I'm going to run through the tree line.
Okay.
So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So I'm there as of here.
Yes, you are now. So as you kind of disengage, the jungle starts kind of abruptly. This island is almost all jungle with very little beach. So as you see this creature, you are kind of actively dodging any incoming blows, and you look to your left. You see that tree line, and you just head as quickly as you can for that tree line, and you kind of jump between two large pieces of foliage. And where do you go from there?
So I'm at 20 movement here, just past the tree line. Okay. I'm going to do I have a good sense of how concealed I am at that point?
You're very concealed. I mean, this is a thick primordial jungle.
Okay. So I will take my final 10 feet of movement this way, 1, 2.
Okay.
And just stay kind of ducked behind the tree line.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
All right. Daedalus Hartwell.
Okay, I'm going to first I'm gonna back up. Is that melee range?
Yes, it is.
Oh man, I can't back up without using the burning turn.
Yeah, you've got to use disengage. Otherwise, you can. I mean, you could still do it, but it would have an attack of opportunity if you broke melee range with it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna disengage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna copy him, and I'm gonna go about here, back in the trees.
Okay.
Brock's gonna look around. So,
Is it gonna end your turn?
Yes, it is gonna.
Thanks, guys.
Next, it's their turn.
You.
So you see this thing spin and face toward the thick jungle canopy. Daedalus and Kohl, as you're now next to each other in the jungle, sweat pouring. It's standing there, but it's just looking. It's not advancing at all. It almost looks like it's processing something as you see this big round piece of coral that is atop of this construct's shoulder kind of like shift, almost as if it's looking, and just slowly turns around and starts shuffling its way back to Barag in the first. So 20, 25. So we are going to have a Barag sandwich. He's surrounded by living coral reef, angry living coral reef, and that's actually going to be their turn. So we are going to, I need to see if this recharges.
And I saw them disappear, right?
This, make a perception roll.
5.
5.
No.
You don't see any trace of them, but you don't see blood on the beach. Mm-hmm. But, you know, judging from past experience, you have seen Daedalus blink out of existence and reappear.
True.
So, but you don't see them on the beach.
Wonderful.
So that is one. Oh, that's okay. So one of them recharges it. So I need you to make a DC 17 Wisdom save, please. That would be Barag.
18, natural 18.
18 again. Off of one of them, you see the magical tendrils kind of coalesce off of its form. Almost look like octopus or squid tentacles as they try to wrap around you, but you're able to fight off whatever magic enchantment this thing happens to be throwing at you. And then the other one does get its regular attacks, so multi-attack. Wow, that's 27?
Yep.
19?
Yes. Damn it. This is gonna hurt right here.
So 17 for the first hit, bludgeoning damage, and for the second hit it's going to be 17 points of bludgeoning damage for the second hit, as
Jesus
this
Christ.
large coral golem monstrosity takes its forearms essentially and just hits you, bats you right in the chest, bringing its large 150-pound arm over its coral head and just bashing it into your chest. Blood starts to kind of erupt out of your mouth as you're taking this hit, and you realize now that you are in a predicament because you're completely surrounded.
Yeah.
So okay, now Barag, it is your turn.
Okay. Shit.
That is the thought that enters Barag's head.
Yeah.
Shit.
Shit. So I'm completely surrounded. There's no way I could get out from in between them. I'm stuck, essentially.
I don't know.
Shit. Doubly shit.
Why players always ask me my opinion?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna burn my action to disengage and advance towards the forest.
Alright, so you burn your action to disengage.
Yes.
Well done, sir.
I burn that action to run.
So, in case anybody knows what disengage means, is that instead of taking an offensive action, you can use that action up to disengage. What disengage means is that you put distance between yourself and your enemy without incurring attacks of opportunity made against you. Essentially, he's actively dodging as he's running. So, well done. So, what direction are you going in?
Running for the forest.
Running for the forest?
Yeah, it's the only safe place it seems to be right now. So
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Took full movement to hide in the forest.
Okay, make a perception roll.
See if I notice the two. Never mind. I don't know where they are. 12.
12. All right. So you get down behind some brush as you kind of hunker down out of the line of sight of these two monstrosities. One which only has one leg, and you see them kind of crawling. One of them crawling on the beach toward the jungle, and the other one kind of following toward the jungle. But they both stop right at the jungle line, and both kind of like almost scanning or looking. It seems that they see you. They know that you're there, but they don't seem to be breaking that particular beach. So you do notice to your right, Daedalus and Kohl are both literally next to you, looking, kind of peeking out of a bush and watching what's going on.
So do they see me yet?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh.
They were there when you got there.
Hey, you two idiots! You left me alone out there! What the hell?
Well, it looks like you had the same idea as us.
Yeah!
It worked out.
Worked out? Only reason I left was because you two left!
Oh, I was leaving either way. I think that fight is over for us. That's going nowhere.
Whatever, it was going plenty. I chopped off a freaking leg for crying out loud. But whatever.
Want to go chop off the other one, be my guest, but part of my job is, it's not just killing people, it's also surviving, and I'm not going to survive that.
But the treasure, man, the treasure that could have been there. The loot.
And that thing, and I point over at like just this massive like coral. if there's treasure in that thing, let me know, but I don't plan to find out.
You're so short-sighted. But whatever, let's find out what's in this forest, I guess. That might kill us too.
Dash into the forest. So looking around further into the forest, is there anything that catches my attention other than trees?
Well, you notice that, and you're no expert in jungle survival.
Yep.
You're a city kid. But this isn't a forest. This is a jungle. Every square inch of this land has life on it. Everywhere. Bugs are squirming. Some of them are flying. The humidity is almost oppressive as you're just sweating buckets. There's all types of green, lush foliage. Some of it is so thick, and there seems to be almost no discernible trails. It is literally as if it's as wild can get in this jungle.
Oh, and I reload my weapons as well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you as you're watching Barag run for his life, are you reloading your weapons? But I automatically assumed that you did.
Yeah.
But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that.
So what do y'all think? We can follow the tree line down the beach, or just head on in deeper? It seems like we're the only things alive that are not whatever that is. And I point back at the creatures.
Well, I don't think they're alive, but, I heard some weird noises coming from this forest, so, to be honest with you, it kind of creeps me out. I'd rather deal with the coral monsters, but...
There'd be a lot of things in here, but in the immediate sense, I think we're better off not dealing with those things and taking our chances.
Fine, so be it, I guess. What about you, Daedalus? You want to join in on this crazy adventure?
Yeah, I say we don't go back out into the beach, because they're there.
2 versus 1, so I guess I lose since, well, we don't know where our 4th is right now.
Sometimes when you lose, you win.
True. I am kind of bleeding, out of...
You have these sick, jagged cuts from the coral just scraping the skin off your flesh.
He's gushing blood. He's like, no. He's like, come on, we got this.
We totally got this. What are you talking about?
So...
In we go, I guess. Just which direction? Along the beach, or do you want to go further in?
How long is that strip of beach that we were on? I mean, is it just like an even parallel kind of line with the forest?
It is, but if you look north, the beach actually hooks, kind of turns.
Okay.
So it's hard to see what's beyond that hook.
Right.
Well, in my opinion, I say we stay to the perimeter and maybe circle around the edge and see what else is on the beach around this, however big this island is.
Keep our bearings that way, because we head on in, we might just get turned around. So.
Yeah, and I'm no nature crazy boy, so I don't know this place I don't know that well.
Me neither.
So.
I could be in my tavern right now.
You and your tavern, city boy. Welcome to the wild.
Yeah. Let's see now. Well, let's pick a direction, I suppose. Around the bend there?
I guess around the bend.
Okay, so I start walking in that direction, just being sure to stay behind the tree line.
Sure.
I follow him, but as he walks away, I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and so I still have my alchemy jug as well, right? Like everything that's in my possession. I don't know if you made a roll for that as well, but
I did not make a roll for your alchemy jug, but I will.
My alchemy jug.
I feel like I don't want to go through my inventory. Like, do I have this? Do I have that?
Yeah, you have it.
Oh yeah, sweet. So I pull out my alchemy jug. I'm assuming it's next day, by the way, from the previous.
You have no idea how much time
has passed. Okay, well. So I'm gonna look at my alchemy jug and whisper water to it, and hope it fills.
It does.
Thank God. Well, that tells me something, because I can only use this blasted thing once a day, so it is next day. Yay! Yeah. And so I pick it up and I take a good swig of water out of it.
And it is the best water you've ever had in your life. It's, you're washing out that salty taste of the ocean, the beach. It goes down cold. Ice cold.
It tastes so good. Hey, Kohl! And I kind of I pull him back after that, and I pass him my alchemy jug, and I say, fresh water, my friend. Drink up.
So I kind of hold it out for a second, and I look inside to make sure that it wasn't... Last time I saw the jug, there was backwash in it. So I check to make sure that it's...
It's fair, because with Barag, there's just no telling what's in his jug.
Yeah, and he just told me, the first time he just told me this magical tale about a jug that fills itself. So I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, so seeing the water, I take a drink and I push it back at him.
Nah.
It's a lot better than the ocean water.
Yes. I don't know how Terra did it, man. That salty ocean water doesn't suit me.
Dries out the hair, you know?
Yeah. Well, for you, city boy, I'll make an exception, I guess, for your hair.
Thanks.
But whatever.
Run my fingers through it real quick.
Yeah. Fancy. And I kind of just awkwardly look away. Daedalus, where the hell are you?
I walk up behind him because I see that's where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just pass the alchemy jug to him and drink up.
I take a drink and then I pass it back to him.
And just like with Barag and Kohl, it is ice cold water, fresh. It's probably the best water you've ever tasted.
And I look at everybody, a little refreshed at least. It's the only water we got until, we scout the rest of this island. So we gotta make do with what we got. And I just put a cap on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Ration it as much as we can.
Alright,
Yep.
so as you guys are walking down, not walking down the beach, but staying parallel with the beach, but within the jungle, you guys are walking for an hour. And it's slow going. I mean, you're encumbered in every way. There's no trail. You guys are literally making a trail. So Barag is up there cutting with a sword. And then you guys switch off because your arms just get so tired. So you guys just kind of switch off and, cut little trails into the thick forest, the thick jungle. And now the sun starts to dip below the tree line. As it starts to cool off. I need everybody to make a perception roll, please.
Hey, Bustles.
18.
19.
16.
16. I will say, who rolled highs? Daedalus did 19. Alright, so as you're up at the front, you've got your dagger, and you're cutting some of the shrubs out of your way. You almost literally step on it. It looks like a body, a dead body, a corpse. Long forgotten. It's been there quite some time. There's still bits of flesh that have not completely decomposed from the body, but it seems like he or she was lost to the jungle long ago.
Is there any backpack or anything on it, or
Make an investigation.
17?
17. There is a backpack. The backpack, the remnants of what was in there is dried meats that have since rotted away. There was a map, but it was an ocean chart, and a broken water skin, and about 3 copper.
Well, let's see. The water skin, as he said, is broken, so that means all the water probably just went. Then it's not going to be that much use to us if we fill it. So I take the 3 copper,
Okay.
and I do grab the ocean chart, even though I can't read it. If we do bump into her again, I know someone who does.
Okay.
So I know someone who can.
Mhm.
So I take the ocean chart and I put that in my back, and I take the 3 copper and drop it into my purse.
Okay.
So I was like, well, that's all. It's like, well, a dead body. Anybody want it? I got
Dead body?
Yeah.
Dead body?
Oh,
The hell's wrong with you?
maybe we could just carry him on our back, scare away the jungle creatures.
We'll use it as basically if they start chasing us, we'll throw the corpse and then we run.
Daedalus is embracing this coven thing.
Kinda.
Corpses around.
Some dark shit.
Let's just carry corpses with us wherever we go now.
I think at this point that's just added weight. We don't.
Daedalus, make a perception roll.
Oh, shit.
Or no, just an intelligence check, rather. No, perception.
I rolled a 12.
12? Okay. You do know that you do have a couple of new tricks that you've learned from Ethel Ironteeth.
But does that take a spell slot?
No.
No. But which one to do? So I look at them, I was like, hey, you guys want a corpse following us? I can make it walk.
Actually,
Or do you want me to try and speak with it, see if we can get some secrets or tips or anything?
try to get some secrets from it because I don't think we should continue now. I noticed the sun setting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cooling off, and it's getting dark. Especially in the jungle, it's getting
Extra dark.
Yeah.
I think we need to bed down for the night where we are right here. No sense in
Our new friend here. I'm
Yeah.
pointing at the corpse.
Well, let him get the secrets
Yes,
from
let's,
him or her. I don't know,
So-
whatever it is.
I'm gonna speak with the dead.
All right.
So here we go. Let's see if we can.
Here we go. Daedalus' first time to speak with the dead.
And don't tell anybody I can do this. It'd probably get us in loads of trouble.
But it'd be so much fun.
Don't tell anybody I did this. Alright, so speak with the dead. You're going to cast a spell. It's a necromancy spell. You grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions that you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. The spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spell within the last 10 days. Until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers will usually be brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer the truthful answer. If it recognizes you as an enemy, the spell doesn't. Okay, so this is actually going to take 1 action, about 6 seconds. But you actually have a arcane focus, so you don't need the burning incense, but you prepare the spell. Part of the preparation of the spell is to disfigure the dead with a symbol of the Grim Shadow Coven, usually carved somewhere in the corpse. So you take your dagger and you carve a semblance of the goat head on the actual corpse. Is there a particular verbal component that you wish to usher as you release the spell's energy?
Verbal component. Oh, just like
Anything that, in particular that Daedalus Hartwell would say.
I guess I'll just say, share with me what you know.
All right. So you cast forth a very dark, black magic energy as it exudes from your eye sockets, from your mouth, almost like writhing tentacles. It just kind of wraps and envelops the corpse, and you see the corpse move for a second, almost violently, and then you see the mouth kind of fall open, and the eye sockets light up with a dim orange glow as it says,
Okay.
I'm just like approaching like as close as I dare, just kind of watching in fascination, just totally silent.
and Barag, you've never seen anything like this either, for that matter.
I'm just like jaw dropped, eyes wide. Ooh.
Hey, this is new for me too, so.
Creepy.
Oh, it is very creepy.
Better not kill us.
Oh, don't worry, it will not kill us.
Well, and I just grip my sword. I'll kill it first if it tries to, I guess.
Okay.
Technically already dead.
Well, yeah, well, you're right, I
Well,
guess. Whatever, speak to the thing.
Yeah, just in case, do be ready. So, first thing I ask is, do you know where this island is?
Yes.
Okay, where is it in comparison to Baldur's Gate?
An ocean away.
That's helpful.
Gotta ask the right question.
He's snarking a corpse.
Can they talk to them to, or is it just me?
You.
Just me. So, well, can I consult with them real quick and see?
Sure.
Hey, is there any questions you wanted to ask? We have 3 left.
Ask what's on this island.
And perhaps the name of the island, if it has a name.
Oh, yeah. So I turn back to it. What is on this island? Aside from trees.
And death.
Oh, great.
And does this island have a name?
The island of Chult.
Okay, so... And okay, one last question.
All you, man.
I'm
not fucking
Is
this one.
Kohl familiar with Chult? No.
Make a history roll.
History. Ooh. Not perfect. 19.
19. All right. You've spent enough time in Baldur's Gate. It's a port city. To know that the man who discovered Baldur's Gate was a pirate, Captain Balderon. Now, as legend tells, and you've heard this told over many a gambling table and in many a tavern by many, many pirates and privateers, the legend has it that Balderon wanted to go on one great last adventure, but he never came back from that adventure. The rumor was that he had ended up on the island of Chult. It wasn't until hundreds of years later that expeditions had set out to find the remains of Balderon, to bring him home. And they did indeed find an island, presumably the island of Chult. The island of Chult is a wild island. It's an island, it seems, out of time. Doesn't seem to belong on the material plane, but there it is. So they used resources to try to set up cities, port cities, for trade, for further exploration. You do know that there are a native people. There are people native to the island of Chult. Nobody outside of the island has ever seen them, though. This information was only relayed through messages sent by Raven, and again, it's compiled over many years, many decades. Most crews that come to Chult, unless they are from Chult, don't make it back.
So I look at Daedalus. It is said that this island has a native population. Maybe you could ask him if he knows where we may find them from here.
Okay.
Which direction to head in so that we could establish a place to sleep and eat and hopefully get out of here.
Yeah, so turn back to him and it's like, we heard there's a native population on this island. Where do they live? Do they have like a city, a town, a camp? Which direction would that be in?
That's a lot of questions, Daedalus. Okay, so
To ask for more wishes.
yeah. So he takes what you can assume is almost a semblance of a breath, but you know it's a corpse and can't breathe. But as it ekes out its very last answer, it says, Port Nyanzaru. As the orange ember within its eyes just fade and it rests.
Well, at least you know there's a port still somewhere on this island.
That was really impressive. I gather that has a lot to do with why you're being targeted. Most folks don't take kindly to that sort of magic.
Yeah, they don't.
But
So that's why not a word.
yes, no, for everybody's sake, I agree.
Gonna shout it to the world. Of course. Why not?
And I just kind of like gently kind of roll the corpse's head with my pistol just out of curiosity to see if there's any movement or life left in it.
Totally inert.
So we have a name.
Yep. Port was
Uh,
Nyanzaru, right?
We know it is a port, so it will be on the water.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we keep doing what we're doing and follow the beach, and we should get there eventually.
Yes. Do you want to start tomorrow, or you think we should get some rest for tonight?
I say we need to rest for the night. It's dark in here, and personally, like I told Kohl earlier, I'm not a very good forest boy, so... Unless you two are, which I know Kohl's not. And...
No, I would rather not be here. But
I know you'd rather not be here,
I
silly
haven't
boy.
made that clear already.
Duh.
But I agree. We should rest. Might as well do it here.
Yep, you two first. I will take first watch, and then I'm actually gonna... Okay.
Yeah.
And Daedalus, you last, I'm assuming.
Yes. You and I
Okay.
really don't need that sleep.
After 4 hours. Before I begin my watch, I'm actually gonna go into my pack and pull out... And I had to Google this, because at first I was like, what the hell is this? What the fuck is pitones? And so, they're metal spikes, so what I'm going to do is I have 10 of them. I'm going to actually kind of form a little, kind of just put them in the ground around us, kind of, just to make a makeshift little defense, just in case anything gets past me. And then I'm going to pull out my tinderbox and one of my torches and attempt to make a fire. Right there.
I need you to make a survival check.
What does that use?
Survival is your wisdom.
My wisdom.
Are you proficient in survival?
Uh,
Because if you are, you get to add your proficiency bonus.
actually, you know what? I am.
All
I
right.
chose that as
All right,
proficiency.
you are one with the jungle right now.
Yay! Thank God I chose that.
Yeah.
I chose it for a reason, I guess. Heck yes. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Okay. So sure enough, you put out your spikes around the camp. You guys don't really have... Well, I would say that with your packs, if your packs have tents, then you have them. If your packs do not come with tents, then you don't have them. But you do make a very adequate fire. Hard to do because the humidity in the air, a lot of this wood is not ideal for burning.
Mm-hmm.
But with a roll that high, I would say that, yeah, you managed to do it.
Sweet.
So you take first watch. I'm gonna say this. I need everybody to make a perception roll right now.
26.
15.
12.
15.
15. Okay. I would say all three of you notice, and it's a little eerie when you do notice it. But specifically you, because your survival skill.
Mm-hmm.
In a jungle this thick, even at night, it's very active. Sounds all over. This jungle is different. You don't hear a sound. Nothing. It is silent. If you took a step, it would sound like an explosion. There's nothing. There's no birds, no frogs, no insects chirping, no wolves, no sound at all. Where just a couple of hours ago, the jungle was alive with the sound of wildlife and animals. Now there is nothing.
Kind of just stroke my beard as I sit there and just sip on a little bit of the water from the alchemy jug, trying to drink as little as possible. And kind of just ponder why it's so quiet and kind of get a little creeped out that it's so silent.
Yeah, in this case, the silence is deafening.
Yeah.
So I need you to make a perception roll.
12.
12. Okay. You go through your shift. It is eerily quiet, but nothing in particular happens.
Good. So I grabbed the torch. I didn't light it, by the way. I forgot to do that. But I grabbed the torch and I light it real quick from the fire, and I put some more wood on there, and then I kind of just nudged Kohl with my foot and, hey, it's your watch, man.
Alright.
I know,
Sorry.
restless sleep.
stand up and stretch and just stay standing, hopefully, like hoping it'll help me just wake up.
Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting there. I haven't done my meditation yet. I was just kind of sitting there.
Sure.
Do you ever sleep, Daedalus?
Elves don't need to sleep. So, yeah. We do have to meditate, though.
I have heard that. Just thought that was one of those tall tales.
Nope. It is entirely true.
Yep.
Is there any trees? There's a lot of trees around.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to find the nearest one that has like a sturdy branch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to activate my spider boots and walk up and sit on like the lowest branch there is.
Okay.
And I'm going to meditate up there.
Good enough. I need so your second watch, right, Kohl?
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a perception roll, please.
19.
You're just past the second hour of your watch, going into the third hour of your watch. And at first it almost doesn't seem real to you because it has been so quiet. So the first time that you hear anything, it's loud. Just a twig snapping in the distance. But against the stark silence, it's almost deafening. You look up and you see Daedalus Hartwell up on a branch, a low-hanging branch, on a very sturdy tree, just meditating, not moving. You hear kind of like a rustling just outside the firelights, the fire's light.
So I immediately draw both my pistols and point them in the direction that I think the sound is coming from,
Mm-hmm.
but I stay pretty close to the fire, like I don't venture out at all.
Okay.
So, and I just kind of wait.
Okay. So as you're sitting there and you're looking out into the darkness of the jungle, hard to see anything outside of the glow of the fire. It just seems completely black.
I do have dark vision. I don't know if that...
Okay, good. That's right, tiefling. So completely gray.
I'll take it.
Yeah, completely gray. The foliage is thick, but because you're dark vision, you definitely see shrubs and little small saplings moving in a particular direction, as if something is nudging them as it's walking. And as you're trying to kind of get a bead on whatever it is in the jungle, you hear
and this is coming from the same direction of the twig
sure
sound?
is.
Okay, so I kind of try to like track the movement with my guns as best as I can, and I say, reveal yourself, and I just wait.
So the second that you hear, the second that you say reveal yourself, you hear.
So I scuttle over to Barag and like kind of move in with my foot, trying to wake him up.
Sure.
The hell do you want?
Something coming at us. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound nice.
What do you mean doesn't sound nice? Nothing sounds nice in a jungle.
It sounds a little bit like that thing that Daedalus was toying with, that corpse.
So as you finish saying that thing that Daedalus was toying with, that corpse, you see something shamble right into the middle of your camp, and indeed it is a maggot-ridden corpse, living flesh, stringy black hair, pus, just green pus kind of coming out of every orifice, flesh eaten down to some parts, like in the high points of the face. You could see bone protruding through the flesh. You see some broken fingers as it comes through violently through your camp, just screaming, no eyes, just black sockets as it comes for you, and it actually rolled a natural 4. But in the distance beyond that, you hear more out in the distance.
Crap.
How far away is Daedalus?
He's probably a good 15 feet.
Okay. So I yell to him too. I guess that's not that far, but I'm yelling. Daedalus!
What?
There's things, corpses.
I will say this, Daedalus, because you have the advantage of being 15 feet in the air. And you do have night vision as an elf. As you say, huh, what? And you open your eyes, you see about 100 of these shambling corpses making their way through the forest right in the direction of the fire.
Cool. I was like, yeah, guys, there's a lot more than that one.
So what do you guys do? You've got 6 seconds. What are you doing?
I scoop up my stuff as quickly as I possibly can, and I just run out to the beach and then down the sand.
I'm gonna grab all my stuff, my spikes. I'm gonna, as I do that,
You're not gonna have time to grab your spikes.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick sand over the fire.
Okay.
All over the fire, and just run.
Okay.
Straight after Kohl.
So yeah, I'm just gonna real quick jump down the tree, but on the other side of it, not the side facing them.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take off after.
Okay. So Kohl, you grab what you can and you take off. Barag, you start kicking sand on the fire. As you do, I rolled a natural 20. One of them grabs you over the shoulder, and you hear, "Ah!" And it automatically reminds you of when you were infected.
Yep.
Like memories of you being slowly deteriorated from this creature of life to this creature of death. It pops into your brain. And it has its vice-like grip over your shoulder. It's going to do a little bit of damage, in fact.
Oh, please don't say it bit me. Did I get a full night's rest at this point? Did I get a long rest? No.
None of you did.
Short rest or not?
Short rest, yeah, sure. Yeah.
So what's regain of health on that?
So you take, you can use your hit die.
Oh yeah, and I lose a hit die. Nah, I'm good.
So you take 10 points of damage,
Okay.
bludgeoning damage.
10.
Yeah.
It's 10.
As its arms are wrapped around your chest. Daedalus, you take off. Make a perception roll. 18. As you begin to run, you notice Kohl is in front of you. You could have sworn that Barag took off before you did, but you didn't see him. And you kind of are scanning the jungle, and through the corner of your eye back at the main camp, you see Barag get caught by one of those things, and you see about 5 more of them swarm right into the camp where Barag was putting out the fire.
I was like, great.
Roll initiative.
Me too.
If you want to fight.
So
I call for him, and I was like,
okay.
Barag is a bit tied up right now.
So I pause for a second and just start running back. Almost.
Life choices,
Got
man.
it.
Life
Yeah.
choices.
20.
20?
15.
24.
Alright, so we've got Kohl, Daedalus, and Barag. And believe it or not, they rolled really shitty. 6. Alright, so up at the top of the order, we have Kohl. Kohl, you hear Daedalus scream out your name. Barag, they've got Barag. You turn around, you stop for a second on the beach, and for a second you're like, I could keep running, but fuck, and you turn around. And there, sure enough, you see Barag. He's entangled with one of these undead zombies, these creatures. You just see black liquid coming out of its mouth. And you see 5 more just kind of burst through the camp. Beyond that 5, you see more coming.
So we have the one on Barag, 5, and then more behind them.
Yeah.
Okay. How far am I from Barag in the?
Let's say you took a full round, so I would say 30 feet.
Oh boy. This is not suited to my skill set. Let's look at a hostage situation here. Just hold still, Barag.
Oh no! This might hurt.
Yeah. This might hurt you a lot or not at all, depending on how this goes.
I'm giving you inspiration.
Thank you. Okay. So.
I hope this doesn't hurt.
Actually, what I'm gonna do is he's kind of got Barag in like a choke.
Yes.
Sort of thing.
He's essentially got one arm draped over his shoulder and the other one draped under the opposite arm.
Okay, so I'm going to actually take full movement because I'm 30 feet away from them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take full movement and get, like, if I can, next to them, like directly, like, flanked to the zombie.
Okay.
And I'm going to, if I can get like 5 feet away flanked from them, I'm going to do that and just raise my pistol and get as close to point blank range as I can from that space and shoot at the zombie's head.
Go for it.
So, I'm hoping Barag's like a little shorter.
Yeah, I would.
We'll see.
I would
see what
start
happens.
praying like right now.
Well, if I do melee, I'm at disadvantage, so that's the thing. Funny enough.
You could always pistol. Hey, you could always pistol whip him.
Yeah, but
Let's go.
might not be enough. And now it's metagaming, so.
Do your thing.
So I'm taking the shot.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Can I say I shoot him in the at the knees instead?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Seems like a happy middle ground. Okay. 21.
Woo! All right, so that is definitely a hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. As cool as it would have been if I made that on the headshot, I'm just like, it would have really not been cool if it went the other way. So. Okay.
Yeah, rolling a 1 on a headshot with a hostage situation is never a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Be my luck. Okay.
Don't.
So that's gonna be 8.
8. All right, 8 points of damage. Good enough. So you completely blow the kneecap off this thing, and you see the leg just completely fall apart, almost disintegrate right where the knee would be. From the calf below, the leg just falls motionless to the jungle floor. You feel the weight now of more of the zombie because it's only got one leg to support it now, so it's almost like dragging you down to the ground. Is that going to end your turn?
I'm going to...
Now I will say that make a perception roll.
Okay.
Natural 20. The second that the hammer clicked back and you pulled that trigger, the sound was deafening, and you're able to, with your night vision and your keen senses, detect a shift. Anything that wasn't moving in the direction of the camp is now headed straight for the camp at full speed.
Okay, I'm going to, and the zombie still got him like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna literally attempt to unwrap the, can I still do that movement-wise? Can I get up on them to, so I was like 5 feet away.
I'll say yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm just gonna attempt to wrench the zombie off of him.
Okay.
So
we're gonna make this a contested strength check.
Okay.
Oh my god, I can't believe I rolled that.
10.
Natural 3.
I was like, I don't know if that's really good or bad.
No, so easy enough. You grab this undead creature by the bicep, and you just kind of wrench it, almost like a wishbone, like you're pulling apart a wishbone, and you hear a crack of a shoulder and a crack of a second shoulder as you kind of muscle the arms open to get Barag free. Is that gonna end your turn?
I think that Yes, it will. Other than that, I'm just gonna say run and just try to take off running again.
Okay, that will be next round.
Okay.
Because you use your movement this round to get there. Right. So Daedalus, you're up.
So hopefully I can buy us some time for them to get, oriented so we can take off. I'm gonna cast Chill Touch.
Ooh.
On the one that he ripped him off the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means he's pretty much on the ground, isn't he? Because he's missing a leg.
He's missing a leg. So right now the only thing holding up that particular creature is Kohl.
I'm still touching him. Yeah.
Okay, well I am gonna try and cast Chill Touch on that one.
Okay, so you create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. So that's the zombie. You make a ranged spell attack to assail the creature with the Chill of the Grave.
Yep.
Go for it.
14 plus 8, right? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So yeah, 22.
Alright, that's definitely a hit. I will also finish reading the spell because this is important. If you hit an undead target,
Yeah, I read it.
it also has disadvantage on the attack rolls against you until the next turn. Very good.
And
So go ahead and roll that damage.
since I'm above 5th level, I get 2d8 instead of 1.
Nice.
So that's a 6, right? Yeah. So 8 and 6. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 14.
Alright. So as you cast that spell, you see these ghostly skeletal hands pop up from the ground, grabbing the zombie that is in Kohl's grasp. You see these ethereal skeletal hands pop up from the ground all around you, as if zombies weren't enough to contend with. And now you've got this. And for a second you think they're coming to get you, but they grab the undead creature, and you just see pus and boils start to form on it. Explosions of black blood pop on its body, and it just lies limp, stops moving completely. Well done. Is that gonna end your turn, Daedalus?
See, I'm still a fair bit away, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. Barag,
Ah!
you're free of its grip. You saw something rise up from the ground. These ghostly skeletal hands grab the zombie that had you and just essentially, not disintegrate it, but it was almost like decomposition at a ridiculous rapid pace.
Awesome.
And it is now lifeless, although it was lifeless before, but you get my meaning. It's no longer moving.
Even more lifeless.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what do you do?
I kind of poke at it to make sure it's dead. Fully dead again, I guess. And I kind of poke it with my sword.
Make an intelligence check. Medicine, if you... Make a medicine check.
Shoot. What's medicine using?
Medicine is going to be your wisdom.
Wisdom, okay. Give me a +1 at least. 18.
18. Looks dead. But it looked dead before, but it's not moving. It doesn't look like it's going to move anymore.
So basically, no more animation for it.
Awesome. And in reference to Kohl and I, where are all the other zombies that are coming towards us?
5 just broke the perimeter of the camp and will be on you this round.
Okay. So, and are they within melee range?
They are not currently, but they
will be.
They will be.
Okay.
Within this round.
All right.
They haven't gone yet. So.
Alright. So I'm going to, where Kohl is, I'm going to go step right in, well, reference to him, I'll probably be behind him now because he's facing the other direction. So I'm going to step.
He's facing the direction of the fire.
Okay, so he's facing towards where I am. Like, okay, I'm going to go on the other side of him then and stand right there.
Okay.
Swords drawn, and I'm going to pop one of my potions, my last superior, and take that and just prepare to hold the line.
Okay. So are you going to hold an attack?
Yeah, I'll hold an attack till they get
What's the
within
trigger?
melee range.
Okay. The trigger is they get in melee range?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
8d8, right? If I remember correctly.
Superior?
Yeah.
8d4.
D4.
Plus 8. Healing. So you grab a flask off your belt and you see that bright red liquid. You see the magic kind of shine and shimmer as you pop the cork off and you just chug it down really quick. Next, it's going to be the bad guys. So we've got 5 of them breaking through the camp. First one is going to be natural 20, and that's going to be on Kohl.
14.
Second one is, what's your armor class?
16.
Okay, that's a miss. That's a modified 12. And 17. So 1 crit, 1 miss, and 1 hit. So you're going to get hit twice. And then Barag. That's a miss. What's your armor class?
18.
That's a miss, 17. But you've got 2 that are now in melee range. Let me do the damage for Kohl, because you've got your action that is ready, so you'll get to do that in just a second.
Awesome. No worries. Yeah, that's perfect.
6. So let's double the damage. That is, wow. So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage from the first attack. That was the crit.
Oh, not bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And 2 points from the second zombie.
I bet Kohl things like that's all you guys got. Seriously.
Don't say that
Don't
just
say
yet.
that now, dude.
Yeah, don't say that yet. Come on.
You know better than that.
We just started this fight.
Yeah, you know better than that.
It's like
all right, so go ahead and do your attack now that they're ready.
Okay,
One thing I meant
awesome.
to ask. You said we got a short rest in, right?
You got a short rest.
So that means my spell slots at least are back.
Yes. All your spell slots are back because you're a warlock. So.
My whopping 2.
Dude, two spell slots can be clutch.
I know.
20. Modified.
Modified 20, that's a
Yeah.
hit.
Sweet. And I just get the 1 attack, right? I don't get the extra
It's
attack.
a regular attack roll.
Oh, okay, so I can do
You get the attack action.
extra attack.
The only thing that you don't get is anything that you would use a bonus action for. 'Cause
Yeah.
You popped your.
Yeah, pop my...
So if you get an attack and then you get an extra attack as part of your action, then you would get those 2 attacks.
Okay, cool. So extra attack and my offhand.
So you get your attack and your extra attack, but your offhand, I believe you use as a bonus, no? Or no?
I don't know, 'cause I'm not...
I don't think so. For now, we'll say
just say
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll research that while we... Yeah. I still gotta get used to the dual wield. 15?
15 is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Perfect. I'm gonna roll for the 3rd one real quick.
Sure.
This is my offhand. Oh, well, nat 17.
That's a hit.
Hallelujah.
So go ahead and roll damage for both.
Awesome. Okay, so this is for my first 2 attacks. This is for the 9 lives dealer. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage for the first one.
Okay.
Second 9 lives dealer hit. 5, 10, 12.
Oof.
For the second one from 9 lives.
Okay.
And then this is going to be for my offhand, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the offhand.
Okay. All right. So quickly, you stick the sword. You stick the second sword right dead center in the chest, and then with the 3rd hit, you take the head clean off, and it just kind of rolls, hits the jungle canopy, and just rolls with a thump, as the corpse just kind of falls to the ground. Well done. That is actually going to be their turn because that was your readied action.
Yes.
And I believe they took their turn already, yes? Because they hit Kohl.
Yeah, they attacked Kohl and missed on me both times.
Okay.
So yeah.
So now we're back up at the top of the order.
Okay, so we have. He just took out 2 of them?
So he took out 1 of them.
1.
So there's 4 in the camp, and there will be more this coming round in the camp.
Are any of them like melee range right on me, or are they still just.
Yes. 3 of them are on in melee
attack.
range.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Oof. Okay. I am going to. This is a range thing, I'm still getting used to it. I'm going to disengage and again say to Barag, run! And just take off running towards Daedalus.
Okay. And your turn, Daedalus. What are you doing?
I'm going to cover. Well, since they're both trying to escape, I'm going to cover their escape and throw a couple of Eldritch Blasts at 2 separate ones.
Go for it. You see Kohl kind of deftly. He's actively dodging as he's moving out of the way.
I'm going to turn in inspiration for that one.
Okay.
Let's see. 6, 11, 12, 13, 14.
That's a hit.
Okay. 14 for one, and here's for the other. Oh, 10 plus 8, that's 18.
Okay. So both hit. That's with your Eldritch Blast?
Yeah.
Okay, so you raise your hand, you murmur the ancient incantation, and the magic Eldritch energy explodes forth from your hand. What's it look like? What shape do you make it take form as you let loose this magic energy?
See, I haven't done this in a little bit, so it could be anything, even something that might not exist in that universe.
No, it's got to exist. You have to have experience at one point in time.
Oh, I'm gonna make it. I've seen frying pans.
Absolutely.
So yeah, 2 frying pans.
All right.
And it's good. And I actually animated to where instead of just flying into them, they're just gonna go bink on the head.
Nice, nice. All right. So 2 frying pans. You managed to apparate them right next to the zombie and hit them both. So did you roll damage?
I'm rolling it right now.
All right, roll that
so
damage.
Here's the first one. It's 8 plus 4, so that's 12.
Mm-hmm.
Then 4, that's 9.
9. All right.
So,
So
and there's 2 separate zombies.
yes. Okay. So you managed to hit them both. One of them, you see a crack form right in its head. You see the flesh kind of split, and part of the flesh on its head is like sliding down as it looks towards you. Second on your turn.
And I'm going to take about a couple spaces moving.
There he is. All right,
Run
next
away.
up, Barag.
Oh, that was fast. So now, how many are in front of me currently?
You've got, there are 4. 2 are directly in front of you. There
Okay.
are 4 total in the camp, and you hear a lot just on the edge of the camp coming in.
So I hear Kohl.
Yeah,
run.
Cole, you saw Kohl take off quickly.
Yeah.
And he yelled back to you to run.
Okay. Yeah, chicken shit. But I guess I'm one too. I'm gonna disengage and run.
All right. So you disengage. You are running along the beach.
I'm running in the direction Kohl ran.
So he ran to the beach.
Yeah, so I'm running to the beach as well, unfortunately.
Okay. So I will say this.
As much as I don't like that idea.
Okay. So the 3 of you are now running down the beach as Barag took the disengage action and is following you. Now you guys are running at half speed because you're basically in sand.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are running at half speed, but you're also running at you're going full out, so which actually doubles your movement. So you're running at a regular pace, even though you're putting more effort to maintain that regular pace.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you are running down the beach. I need the 3 of you guys to make a perception roll. And as you're running down the beach, you now see these undead creatures. What seems to be hundreds of these creatures are now breaking the jungle canopy onto the beach, following you and chasing at full speed. And that's all you, especially you two with the night. Actually, all three of you have night
Yeah.
vision, right?
Mhm.
Night vision.
So
Yep.
all three of you see just hundreds of zombies chasing you as you guys are running down the beach. So what was your perception rolls?
12.
15.
15. Okay, so the three of you, as you're running and trying to outpace these things, which is getting more and more difficult to do, off to the left, and it's unusual to you because you haven't seen anything like this yet, but off to the left, you actually do see a path of some sort. It looks like a path that had been traveled frequently.
Good to know. We all noticed it?
You all rolled high enough to notice it.
Okay.
And this is still, if we were to take this path, this is still moving away from
It's
the,
going into the back into the jungle.
So should we be running kind of like...
So essentially,
to-
it's basically a right angle. It turns to the left. If you were to run straight, you would just run right past it.
Okay.
I'm going for the path. Screw y'all. I'm gonna run for the path that I see.
Okay, it's about a good 60 to 90 feet.
Oh, shoot.
And as you're running as hard as you can, you see these things behind you are now starting to gain ground, not encumbered by armor, not really even encumbered by sand. They're dead. They don't feel weariness. They don't get tired.
Yeah.
And you guys are essentially just hours away of being pulled out of the ocean after being shipwrecked. So these things are starting to catch up, but quickly Barag takes that left turn down the path. What do you two do?
I follow him.
Same here.
Same? Okay, so quickly the three of you make that 90-degree right angle turn. You go left down that path. The dirt here is a lot more well-worn. It looks to be about 15 feet wide. It's not a small trail. It's actually a path. Looks like you could probably get carts with horses probably down this path. And as you're running, you do kind of see that it has been traveled in such a way. And you're running ahead now. The zombies are actually coming out of the forest. The ones that weren't necessarily right behind you, but were still in the jungle running towards your direction, are now popping out as you're running along the path. I need everybody to make, I'm going to say, acrobatics or athletics checks, whatever's higher. This is just to avoid their grasp.
Kind of I more take that or use an inspiration.
I'm gonna catch an inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, I will as well.
21.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay, so the three of you are running. You're getting more tired, but down the trail, maybe about 300 feet down the trail, you see what looks to be torch lights. You see some sort of construction of some sort, maybe a building, a hut, a village, something. You know, something is there at the end of the trail. And as you guys are running, more of these undead creatures are popping out of the jungle canopy. Not behind you, some of them are popping out in front of you. And you guys are dodging and weaving. Barag, you're just taking your arm and smashing them right in the jaw as they pop out. I will ask you guys to make one more acrobatics or athletics check before you make it to whatever it is that you're running to.
Modified 20.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, I'm actually turning in another inspiration
Okay.
for that. So if that goes wrong.
13.
Okay, that did it. That was enough. One of them kind of grabs you by the back of your coat but you're able to just kind of get it out of his grip. Barag, again, you're just smashing these things with the back of your fist as you're running. Daedalus, you're just kind of scrabbling beneath these grasps that are coming at you.
Well, I did it acrobatics, so I probably did a flip or something.
All right, we'll say flip.
Yeah, because I do have proficiency in acrobatics.
There we go. All right, so you're flipping over these zombies.
Yep.
And as you guys are running, you hear, fire, fire! And you hear, before you see anything, you hear, and you see arrow and crossbow bolts kind of dot the trail behind you as you hear these zombies getting impaled. And they're just falling to the ground as you guys continue to run. And as you get closer, you see kind of a wooden edifice of a palisades with torches lining around and towers on the left and the right of this rather large gate. And as you get closer, you see men kind of dotting the top of the palisades. And you hear somebody in a very stern voice, reload, reload, we've got survivors. And again, another volley as they just fire into this horde of undead. And you get to the door starts to swing open as you guys scrabble to safety, and quickly about 30 men are behind the door, closing it. One of the undead creatures sticks its arm in between the doors, but the door nonetheless closes on its arm, completely severing it as it lays to the ground, still closing and opening until it finally begins to cease after about 15 seconds. But you are now in a camp, a large camp, mostly human, some dwarves. And you do see many of these humans are very dark-skinned, dark curly hair. Definitely not from the Fey Room. But you do see one dwarf who happens to have a captain of rank, a rank of captain rather, a rank of captain, and he's barking out orders. Save your ammo, men! They can't get through the palisades. It's over. We got them. So you see a human woman kind of come up to all three of you, and automatically she grabs Daedalus by the head and just kind of turns his head left and right. Are you bit?
No.
Are you bit?
No.
What about you, sir?
I don't think so. And I start pulling up my sleeves and looking at myself.
What about you, sir?
Not to my knowledge, and I check my neck and kind of grimace
So
a little.
She kind of turns you around and looks, and she goes, okay, all right. Gentlemen, welcome to Camp Righteous.
Camp Righteous.
What are you doing out here in the jungle?
We washed up on the beach and seemed at first like the jungle was safer than the beach, and it turned out not be the case.
No. This jungle is cursed. Undead things travel the jungle. They consume anything. Animal, human, elf, dwarf. Nothing stirs but the dead. When the sun drops, so do the bodies.
Like clockwork.
Oh.
Well, it just seems like this entire island is fighting our presence.
You've not seen the thunder lizards, huh?
No, I don't think so, and that does not sound like something I'd want to meet, to be honest.
They're out during the day. They're called the sauruses. All sorts of shapes and sizes.
Well, thank you for saving our lives, and I kind of nod at any of the men who are close to us who aided in that effort. My name is Kohl. What may I call you?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Camp... Did I say Camp Righteous or Camp Vengeance?
Righteous.
Ah, it's Camp Vengeance. I'm sorry.
Camp Vengeance.
Camp Vengeance.
Yes.
That sounds less friendly.
I'm sorry. This is Camp Vengeance, not Camp Righteous.
Momentary lapse there.
No
problem.
Our doctor is
Can we change the
shell
name?
shocked.
I raised my hand. Can we change the name back to Righteous?
Vengeance it is.
It never was righteous.
Righteous
Denied.
sounds better.
PTSD, man. It's a thing. All
I
right.
like vengeance better.
No, it's Camp Vengeance, my man.
It's all about that vengeance.
So the dwarf says, Commander Breakbone.
Breakbow?
Breakbone. Niles Breakbone.
Breakbone.
Breakbone. Well, good to meet you.
Pleasure.
This is the person I was talking to, is what?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for saving our asses out there.
That's what we do. So as you look around the camp is inundated with a pestilence. Flies all over. Many of the men, as you look around, look jaundiced. Their skin and shades of green and yellow from malaria. Most look very sick. Very few look like they're ready to fight. Probably all of the ones in the camp were the ones who were fighting that are actually fit to fight. Most are leaning up against the walls of the inside of the palisades, just trying to stay on their feet. Some of them have failed in that task and are just kind of sitting in the mud. You see canvas covering what you can assume are bodies of those that have passed, and there are a lot of them, a lot of pieces of canvas. The smell in Camp Vengeance, it is a combination of almost like an anesthetic and rot. They look desperate. Most look like they haven't had a meal, a good meal, in a very long time. Some have arms in slings, have some sort of active injury, but very few of the men and women at Camp Vengeance seem fit to fight.
What exactly is this place? What brought you folks here? Seems like you're going a bit downhill, if I may be honest.
So the female human, my name is Pern Salhana, and this was meant to be a trading post to usher supplies downriver. There's a river not too far from here. Make the shipping of men, resources, food, fresh water easier. The jungle is unforgiving, and the dead even more so. We are at the end of our rope. Very few are healthy, but we can take care of what superficial wounds that you have.
It just seems to me like night after night of these attacks will wear you all down to the bone eventually, and unless you pick up and move. We were actually, when we were attacked, on our way to Port Nyanzaru.
Yes, we know it well.
Are the people there friendly to strangers?
Oh, they're very friendly people. I love Port Nyanzaru. I would love to get back there.
How far is it?
It's on the other side of the island. When we're not contending with these creatures that you see, we're contending with the thunder lizards. I don't know what's more fearsome.
Now, is there any way, anything like a shortcut or a detour, short of just, cutting straight through the trees? Any even relatively safer way of getting there?
The river. The river is the safest way to Port Nyanzaru. The problem is that we don't have any serviceable boats. Not many boats make it here, and fewer make it back to Port Nyanzaru.
Do you have any boats that could potentially be repaired?
We don't have enough boats on hand. We have one, but that is in case the camp falls. The command team will take that boat. But that is as of right now, that is the only boat that we have.
Now, what if we were to perhaps borrow this boat of yours and make it to Port Manzuru and send back for help?
Well, the river is safer than the sea. There obviously are all sorts of dangers out on the ocean. We here on the island of Chult have even heard of these sea wolves. There's nobody coming in and on or off this island, not with them around.
Yes, we were actually on an expedition to find them when our ship wrecked. We found ourselves here. Well,
Shipwreck, you say?
yes, well, a ship of a kind. It was more of a dinghy, but
We had a patrol that reported a ship, but a large ship.
wow.
Found some debris. No evidence of survivors.
We weren't on that one. We had just sort of made an escape from a larger ship.
Well, the one we found was called the Terra's Tears, according to the placard on the ship. It was powered by some creature. There was one in some sort of cell,
Yes.
but it was run aground during the squall.
That would be the ship that we were on before. Well,
I
that
hate to
means
say it, but they probably did not survive the jungles of Chult.
well, we only really cared about one soul on that ship, and she's a hardy one. If any of them were going to survive, it would probably be her. So I wouldn't write her off, but
What is her name?
Terra. The ship bears her name.
Terra's Tears. Well, we can most certainly keep an eye out for her. What is her description?
Well, she's a halfling, so quite short stature.
Not many halflings in Chult.
She'd be easy to spot in that sense. She's very quick on her feet. She's even more so than most halflings. She does have a sailor's mouth. She's a sailor by trade. And she can take care of herself. She wields 2 daggers. But against this island, I don't know. So if you do happen to see her, if you could provide her aid, that would be greatly appreciated.
We will most certainly keep an eye out for Terra. High Hill, you said? Very
Yes.
good, yes. We'll keep an eye out for her. As for the crew of this Terra's Tears, what business is it that you had with them?
You see, the ship used to be Terra's. There was a mutiny on board, and the ship was commandeered from her. We were there to negotiate with this captain, this newer captain, under the rules of parley. I don't quite understand it, but
Right. Yeah, the privateers have their own sort of language that they speak.
well, it all sounded very peaceful until it wasn't.
Hmm.
And there was a fight, and we ended up overboard on a dinghy and caught a rather large wave.
Yes, and here you are.
Here we are.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep on lookout for this Terra High Hill. As far as the others, we have not run across any of them. The only thing that we've run across is this large ship, far too large for us to salvage. We may send a team there to see what's on the inside of the ship, but there are far too many dangers on the beach and in the jungle. We may give it a go. We may get desperate enough to give it a go.
This large ship, is this Terra's Tears? Was this?
Yes.
How far?
According to the name inscribed on the ship. Yes.
That sounds right then. How far is this wreckage from here?
South. About 6 miles south. You were actually coming the opposite way. You were coming north.
That sounds far in this jungle.
It is a long way. In this jungle, it's probably a full day. The idea would be to start out early, avoid the sources, avoid the creatures of the ocean as best we could, camp at the wreckage for the evening, avoid the dead, if we can.
Think you have enough materials to repair the ship?
No, we would not be able to repair the ship, but maybe we can bring enough materials to construct smaller vessels to take down river. Many of these ships carry extra wood, tar, powder, things like that.
Maybe the only source of those things until Port Mayanzu.
Oh, I've heard of a mine somewhere on the island. I've never seen it though. The jungle has probably overtaken it.
Well,
there are ruins and temples on the island, but you don't want to go near them.
I think given those two choices, I'm willing to, can't believe I'm saying this, but head back from where we came and take our chances on the ship. What do you guys think?
Worth the trek. Maybe Terra's there.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm willing to bet my life on that we head there. And I hope she's there.
Now, I know your group here isn't in the greatest of shape. How many soldiers do you think you could spare for this?
I can spare 2 soldiers.
Are they in okay?
They're in
fighting
reasonably
condition?
good health.
Relative to the rest of the camp.
Relative to the rest of the camp, yes. But
Guess that's all we can ask for.
send for Jonathan and Stefan. So they kind of call a runner in the camp, and you see 2 young men, human, kind of stroll up, both with spears. Look very young, just out of their teens, maybe even in their late teens. Armor a bit big for them, as it kind of hangs on their young forms. Their helmets a little too large for their heads, so they have to kind of notch it up with their helmet with their thumb, so they could see from underneath the helmet. You called for us.
So it appears that you're to. Well, first I say my name is Kohl. Your group here just saved our lives, and it appears that you're to join us on an expedition to gather supplies.
You a bit daft. You know what's out there, yeah?
Yeah.
In the wood?
Yeah, we just met it.
Yeah?
Well,
What were you doing in the wood?
we are shipwrecked and we washed up on the shore.
Shipwrecked. I gotta admit, I've never seen one of your kind. I've heard. The
Yeah.
horns give it away.
Yeah, it's they're kind of noticeable.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's we're actually not too rare where I come from, but out here I could see for sure.
Where do you come from? Like one of the 9 hells?
Uh,
And Stefan's, oh, God,
well,
kind of hits his friend. Sorry about that, mister. He's special.
And I lean a little closer to the guy who said that, and I say in Inferno, sort of. And then I lean back
So
and say,
His
well,
eyes get big.
well, if you go far back enough in the lineage, sure.
What sort of hellish language is it?
Oh,
I didn't even understand it.
yeah. Hey, maybe I could teach you one day.
No, I don't want to know any of that
But
language.
it's actually rather elegant. I mean,
I'll take your word.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I have to say, I know we're just meeting for the first time. I don't intend to force you out there, but it appears like you're captain here wishes you to join us.
Oh, what's the mission?
Well, we're to gather supplies and attempt to build a new ship for the river to get to Port Mounds.
Gather supplies. Where? At the store? In the
At a-
fucking jungle?
At a rather large wreckage. Not the wreckage of our ship, the wreckage of another that landed here recently. We're hoping it'll have enough supplies on board to build a small vessel and get to the port so that we can send back for help for the rest of your crew here.
You're not going out now, are you?
Well, I would have to say the sooner the better.
No. I'm not going out there. No,
Is it still nighttime?
Oh, yeah.
Do they only come at night?
That's what they told us. For the zombies.
Yeah, they're only here at night, and then they drop.
That's what are you asking?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Stefan.
So he says, yes, the dead walk amongst the living in the evening. During the day, it's not much better.
Well,
The sauruses come out in packs. They hunt you. They watch you for a long time.
Hopefully a long time's about a day, because that's how long it's gonna take us to get to this set of wreckage. And well,
I'd say it would take about a day, and by the end of that day, you would probably be somewhere in the digestive tract of one of these sauruses.
Well, I'm hoping they'll be in my digestive tract, because I'm hungry.
as it appears to me, sir, if I can be honest with you, the choices are either to go with us and give your camp here a shot at surviving, or stay here and waste away.
So you see one of the guys says, Captain Bonebreaker, come on now. This is fool's folly. I mean, what's out there? It's probably been, swept back out into the ocean. You're not gonna find it. It's not enough of us. So you hear Bonebreaker say, lad, we need intelligence. If there's resources out here that can benefit the camp, it is your duty to obey the order. You will go with these three and scavenge what you can. Bring it back. Oh, bullocks. So he goes kind of storming off. Good night rest then.
Sounds good to me.
We leave early in the morning, once the dead stop roaming.
And you hear them outside the gates. I mean, it is like a symphony of undead.
So I climb. Excuse me for a moment, and I climb like one of the ramparts or wherever the soldiers were shooting down from,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of peek over the wall and just see what I see.
It's a sea of walking corpses. Make a perception roll.
26.
Most of them are not garbed in clothing that you would expect. Most of them are garbed in what looks to, at least in your guess, would be native clothing worn by Chultans. And as you entered the camp, you did see Chultan scouts. Again, dark skin, curly dark hair, most of the time braided, simple clothing, from khaki color to pastels, beautiful jewelry, but not very well refined. I mean, it's jewelry made in a very native, pre-industrial sense. They look to be very much a tribal people, but they look to also be very much with their environment. And you see many of these undead are what you would assume are native Chultans.
So I kind of peek over the edge and just take aim at the head of one of them and just fire off a shot.
Okay. Make your roll.
That's going to be modified 20.
Nice. All right, go ahead and roll your damage.
It's going to be 12.
12. All right. So as you take aim with that modified 20, you aim for the head, but you hit right where the neck and the shoulder meet, and you see black blood just kind of spray as the force of this round knocks it to the ground. Kind of satisfying. But when you do that, everybody in the camp looks up at you. Like even the native Choltons they run a good 10-15 feet away from you, and a lot of the soldiers there, even the ones that are sickly, kind of like spring to life for a second as you're just holding that pistol and having just fired it. They're kind of looking at you in awe and amazement, and you hear somebody in far back 50, 75 feet away, you hear a murmur, "This the devil's tools."
I hear that?
Yeah.
And so I whip around and did you say devil?
You don't know who it is.
Well, you're not completely wrong. And I just holster the gun and walk back down. You know,
You're being given a very wide berth as you holster and you kind of walk toward the stairs going down to the camp floor level. Many of these soldiers are giving you a very wide berth as you make your way back down.
so I take out the guns and I just kind of hold them up, sort of in a display-like fashion. Say, I mean, you know, Hong, these are actually great tools. I know some of you are soldiers. It's, take a look if you wish. They're actually very handy.
So Commander Bonebreaker actually looks intrigued, and he's I've heard of weapons such as that, similar to a cannon, but smaller,
Something
just
that
as lethal.
fits in the hand, yeah. See, I was trained on crossbows. These are a more recent
Yes.
thing for me, but I felt that it was natural, so
Incredible projectile weapon.
yeah, it's great. They're a little volatile, known to explode in the hand occasionally, but if you don't mind that, then and I empty out the ammo from one and I kind of hand it over for inspection.
So he kind of looks at the round and he's like, "What power is this? Magic?"
No, it's a black powder. It's very explosive.
Black powder.
Actually, came here with an entire keg of it, lost it to the sea, but
You might find some black powder on that ship, you know.
yes, so I'll be looking for it.
Interesting. What we could do with black powder, I'm sure we could blast our way to Port Nizaru.
Yes, well, I mean, it seems to me an infestation of ghouls like this would catch the attention of somebody off this island who may wish to remedy it, but it seems like you're here on your own.
There's a legend in reference to these undead. Something happened many years ago. Somebody had wanted an army and used the blackest of magics to raise one. Ross in the Sea, I believe his name was. Dead now, from what we understand. But his army remains on Chul, and they grow. But, for whatever reason, they're only active at night.
Well, at least that gives us some time to work with. I think if we're quick enough, we may only need to spend one night out there, perhaps two, but it's worth the risk at this point.
You know, they're a native species here, friends of ours. They can often be found in Port Nyanzaru, Arakakra. They're a flying people. Perhaps we can arrange for them to transport us to this wreckage.
That
Of course,
would be great.
would not be for free. They are friends of ours, but they must survive as well.
Well, there's more gold to be had if we can make it out of here. So
I can send a raven to one of their settlements. Perhaps meet one of their people. That's agreeable. If you don't mind waiting a day or two.
that's agreeable to me. What do you guys think?
We could use the rest anyway, so we
Yeah.
rest while we wait.
Very good. Hopefully the raven makes it to its destination. We just never know.
Well, if they come, we'll know.
Maybe if we send several ravens.
Hopefully you
enough.
got more than one.
Good enough. So let's head over to the roost. So as you guys are walking to the camp toward the roost, you get to the roost. There's about 3 very sickly ravens in the roost. Next to the roost, you see an animal pen, a pig pen. There you see one pig carcass that is just rotting, and you see about 4 goats in the pen that are sickly. They do not look healthy enough to eat at all. They look like like many of the soldiers. They look like they're just clinging to life and are diseased. So we will deploy all 3 of the ravens that we have left, and we will hear something within a couple of days. Anything specific you wish to request from our friends? Just transport to the wreckage, 6 miles.
And hopefully back if possible. With gear.
Well, if you come back, you will probably have to come back by foot, especially if you do manage to salvage.
Maybe
We'll take what we can get.
Maybe an escort back, I guess. Just in case we run into trouble.
Perhaps if they wish to join us on foot.
Indeed. Arakocra they're one for the skies.
Well, who said they have to walk with us? They can just fly above.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case.
And just they could get here as quickly as possible.
Indeed. Indeed.
Time is of the essence for this particular mission.
Very well. So, we shall see. He sits down, breaks out a little well of ink, some parchment, and starts scribbling in common a request to an Arakocra contingent of soldiers just north of Camp Vengeance. And this is where we'll pick up next time. All right, guys. Good job.
Yes.
Camp
It's
Vengeance
beautiful.
on the island of Chult. Being chased by undead and thunder lizards eventually.
Of all the
Eventually,
islands,
it's gonna happen.
of all
It's
the
gonna
islands he could have landed on, we landed on that one.
On Chult, yeah.
What luck!
Still wondering if there is a Camp Righteous now.
There is,
Okay.
there is, but that's the one you don't want to go to, believe it or not.
Okay, that's funny. I like that.
All right, so this was the end of episode 25. Where's Terra Highhill, guys?
Oh,
The
so-
mystery
man.
deepens.
She abandoned us.
Where can she be? Will the rest of Valor's Ransom find young Terra Highhill? I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, thank you for joining us on episode 25. Other than that, play D&D and love each other, guys. Good night.
Yes.
Night.
Good night. That was amazing.
Always a great time playing D&D.